if I told you scientists just uncovered a 2-kilometer energy grid beneath Egypt's pyramids?
For over 4,500 years, the Pyramids of Giza have guarded their secrets. Who built them and how remains a riddle that defies time. But now, a new challenger has entered the debate. Artificial intelligence. Using cutting-edge scans, AI has uncovered hidden chambers and patterns, long invisible to the human eye. Could this be the key to solving history's greatest mystery? Or will it only deepen the enigma of the pyramids? When people think of ancient marvels, the Pyramids of Giza are always at the top of the list. Built over 4,000 years ago, these massive stone structures have been studied by countless archaeologists, yet they still hold secrets that puzzle experts today. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest of them all, was originally built as a tomb for Pharaoh Khufu around 2500 BC. It stood over 480 feet tall when completed, making it the tallest man-made structure in the world for more than 3,800 years. That alone shows how advanced the builders were compared to their time. The scale of the pyramids is what makes them so mysterious. Each one was constructed from millions of limestone and granite blocks, some weighing several tons. The question has always been, how did ancient Egyptians move and stack these blocks without modern machines? Historians generally believe they used ramps, sledges, and large groups of workers. But the exact methods remain unclear. Over the years, this uncertainty has opened the door for countless theories. Some point to advanced engineering skills, while others bring up more outlandish ideas involving aliens or lost civilizations. Despite the debates, what we do know is that the pyramids were built during Egypt's Old Kingdom period, often called the Age of the Pyramids. They were not just tombs, they were monuments meant to show the power of the pharaohs and to ensure their journey into the afterlife. The precision of the construction is what still amazes researchers. The pyramids are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west, and the stones were cut and fitted with incredible accuracy. This level of detail suggests that the builders had a strong understanding of mathematics and astronomy. Over time, the pyramids became symbols of ancient Egypt itself. Travelers from around the world came to see them, and they were listed as one of the original 7 wonders of the world. Unlike the others, they are the only ones still standing today. For centuries, explorers and scientists have tried to uncover every detail about how and why they were built. Excavations have revealed workers' villages, tools, and even papyrus records that describe some of the construction process. Still, no discovery has fully solved the mystery. However, artificial intelligence was recently applied to scan the pyramids in a way that traditional methods never could. And what the AI uncovered might finally change how we look at these monuments. Could it be that the builders were more advanced than we thought? Or did the scans reveal something entirely unexpected? AI's discovery. When news broke that artificial intelligence had been used to scan the Pyramids of Giza, it immediately caught worldwide attention. For decades, researchers have been trying to understand what lies hidden inside these monuments without damaging them. Traditional archaeology relies on digging, surveying, and carefully examining artifacts. But with the pyramids, breaking through walls or moving stones would risk destroying the very history experts are trying to preserve. That's why modern technology has become so important in this field. Tools like 3D imaging, infrared scanning, and now AI are offering new ways to look inside without physically disturbing the structures. The specific project that drew global interest was part of a larger initiative known as the Scan Pyramids Project. This effort began several years ago and brings together engineers, scientists, and archaeologists from different parts of the world. Their main goal has been to use advanced technology like cosmic ray muon radiography, thermal imaging, and AI-driven modeling to create detailed maps of the pyramid's internal structures. In simple terms, instead of hammering through ancient walls, they let technology see through the stones. Scientists revealed the discovery of a massive hidden void inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, a mysterious chamber situated above the Grand Gallery that had never been recorded in ancient texts or detected before. The finding shocked the archaeological community because it proved that even after centuries of study, the pyramids still had secrets left to uncover. At the time, the purpose of the chamber wasn't clear. Some believed it was a relieving space used to reduce pressure on the structure below, while others thought it might serve a symbolic or ritual purpose. But discovering the void was just the beginning. What AI has recently added to the equation is the ability to analyze scans, patterns, and data in ways the human eye might miss. Instead of simply detecting a hidden chamber, AI can compare measurements, alignments, and structural features with incredible precision. This allows scientists to ask deeper questions. Why were these spaces built? How were they constructed? And what do they reveal about the people who designed the pyramids? Another interesting thing AI brought out was how consistent the measurements were across different pyramids. When models compared angles, sides, and overall layouts, the results showed very small differences, meaning the builders were working with a level of accuracy that seems unbelievable for their time. This has led experts to think the Egyptians may have had simple but very effective measuring tools, like ropes, wooden sighting instruments, or water levels, which they used with great skill. AI analysis also showed that the pyramids were not placed randomly. Their positions appear to follow patterns connected to the Nile River and the path of the sun, almost like the builders were linking earth and sky together in their designs. These discoveries do not suggest that the Egyptians had modern technology, but they do prove that their knowledge was deeper than many once believed. Instead of guessing, AI has given historians and scientists hard numbers to confirm what earlier researchers could only argue about. It shows that ancient people carefully observed their world, practiced methods again and again, and passed down their skills through generations. This makes the pyramids not just monuments of stone, but also records of human intelligence and determination. AI has also been helpful in studying how the stones were moved and placed. For centuries, theories have ranged from giant ramps to complex pulley systems. But by analyzing the pyramid's internal layout and external remains of ramps nearby, AI programs have been able to test which methods would have been most efficient. The results point toward a combination of straight and circular ramps, possibly built alongside the pyramid as it rose. While this doesn't completely end the debate, it gives archaeologists a stronger foundation for understanding the logistics of construction. The AI scans also highlighted inconsistencies in the stonework. These were areas where the blocks were arranged differently, or where hidden gaps appeared. These differences may indicate different construction phases, suggesting that the pyramid wasn't built in one continuous effort, but in stages, with adjustments made along the way. This aligns with historical records that show large building projects in ancient Egypt often took decades and involved shifts in labor forces, leadership, or resources. The most intriguing part of the AI analysis, however, has been its contribution to the mystery of who exactly built the pyramids. Popular culture has often leaned into myths about slaves being forced to drag massive stones under brutal conditions. Movies and TV shows sometimes portray the pyramids as the work of thousands of oppressed laborers. But archaeological evidence over the years has challenged that picture. Excavations near the pyramids have uncovered workers' villages, complete with bread ovens, beer jars, and housing, suggesting that the labor force was actually made up of skilled workers who were fed, housed, and even honored for their work. Fresh evidence now strengthens this idea, as clues from the worker sites are directly tied to the pyramid's construction timeline. Patterns in food distribution, Housing layouts and toolware suggest a well-organized workforce rather than a group of suffering slaves. In fact, many experts now believe the builders were a rotating labor force made up of farmers who worked on the pyramids during the agricultural off-season when the Nile flooded their fields. This system meant that instead of toiling endlessly, people contributed for certain periods before returning to their farms. By combining this historical evidence with AI modeling, researchers have been able to reconstruct how such a system might have functioned. AI simulations show that, with teams of around 20,000 to 30,000 workers, the pyramids could realistically have been completed in the decades-long time frame recorded in Egyptian history. This helps settle one of the most persistent questions. The pyramids weren't built overnight, nor were they built by slaves or aliens. They were the result of careful planning, strong organization, and the efforts of skilled Egyptians who took pride in the work. Of course, AI hasn't answered every question. The mysterious voids and hidden passages still raise debates. Some believe they may hold undiscovered burial artifacts, while others think they are simply structural features. The problem is that researchers are reluctant to drill or enter these spaces without clear justification, since doing so risks damaging the monument. For now, AI provides a non-invasive way to keep studying them, and what makes these discoveries truly powerful is how they shatter old beliefs and transform the way we see the ancient Egyptians. For a long time, people underestimated their knowledge, assuming that building the pyramids required some kind of lost technology or outside help. But the AI scans suggest the opposite. The Egyptians were even more advanced than many gave them credit for. They combined mathematics, astronomy, engineering, and sheer human effort in ways that still impress experts today. The discoveries have also sparked fresh debates about whether more secrets are waiting inside the pyramids. If AI could detect one hidden chamber, could there be more? Some researchers believe that other pyramids, like those of Khafra and Menkaure nearby, may also contain unexplored spaces. Plans are already underway to expand AI scans across the entire Giza complex, and possibly beyond, to pyramids in other parts of Egypt. Meanwhile, technology continues to evolve. The more data AI processes, the more accurate its predictions become. Already, it has helped refine maps of the pyramid's interior, which will guide future archaeological missions. Some even suggest that within a decade, we might be able to create a full 3D model of the pyramid's insides, without ever moving a single stone. That kind of achievement would be revolutionary, giving us answers to questions that have lingered for centuries. For the broader public, the idea that AI is helping solve ancient mysteries is part of what makes this story so captivating. People are fascinated not just by what was found, but by how it was found. AI is usually discussed in the context of modern industries, self-driving cars, chatbots, or healthcare. But seeing it applied to something as old and iconic as the pyramids creates a powerful contrast. It shows that technology isn't just about the future, it can also help unlock the past. The impact goes even further. In Egypt, tourism is a major part of the economy, and discoveries like this renew global interest in visiting the pyramids. Each new headline about hidden chambers or AI scans reminds the world why these monuments matter. They aren't just piles of stone. They are symbols of human ambition, creativity, and endurance. Every time science reveals a little more about them, it deepens our appreciation for what ancient Egyptians achieved. At the same time, it reminds us that mysteries still remain. The pyramids have stood for thousands of years, and despite all the technology at our disposal, we are still piecing together the full story. AI has taken us a step closer, but it hasn't solved everything. And maybe that's part of the fascination. knowing that some secrets are still buried deep inside those stones, waiting for the right tools and the right questions to bring them to light. So, who really built the pyramids? Let's take a few steps back into the history of these pyramids. The background story of the pyramids. The pyramids of Egypt, especially those at Giza, have fascinated people for thousands of years. They are some of the most recognizable structures on the planet, and are often the first thing that comes to mind when someone mentions ancient Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu, is the largest of them all and is considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. What makes them so fascinating is not just their size, but the fact that they were built more than 4,500 years ago, at a time when there were no cranes, no trucks, no modern machines, and no computer technology. What modern research has added is more detail about how these workers lived and organized their efforts. Archaeologists have found remains of workers' villages near the pyramids, showing that they were not slaves forced into labor, but rather paid workers who had food, shelter, and medical care. Evidence of bakeries, breweries, and even hospitals suggests that building the pyramids was a national project supported by the state, with thousands of people working in shifts. AI studies and modern experiments also hint at clever techniques, such as pouring water on sand to reduce friction when dragging stones, making it easier to move heavy blocks. Some theories suggest that straight or zigzagging ramps were built alongside the pyramid or wrapped around it, so workers could haul stones upward as the structure grew taller. While no single method has been confirmed, it is clear that the Egyptians used smart planning and teamwork, not just raw strength. The fact that the pyramids still stand today, thousands of years later, shows how effective their building techniques were. This combination of human effort, engineering skill, and state organization is part of why the pyramids remain one of history's greatest achievements. The Great Pyramid of Khufu originally stood at about 146 meters, 480 feet, tall, though erosion and the loss of its outer casing stones have reduced it slightly. It was aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, something that seems nearly impossible without advanced tools. It was also built with incredible accuracy. The base is nearly a perfect square, with sides that differ by just a few centimeters in length. Such details make it hard to believe the builders relied only on ropes and wooden tools. People are also fascinated because of how big and exact the pyramids are. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, stayed the tallest building in the world for almost 4,000 years, showing how smart and skilled the Egyptians were. Experts have found proof that large groups of trained workers, good planning, and strong knowledge of math and the stars made the building possible. Even with this evidence, there are still gaps in the story. For example, historians still debate exactly what kind of ramps might have been used to move the giant blocks up to the higher levels. Some argue for a straight ramp, others for a spiraling one, while some think multiple ramps may have been built and dismantled during the process. None of these theories fully explains every detail, which is why the pyramids remain a puzzle. Over time, the fascination only grew. Travelers from Greece and Rome visited the pyramids and wrote about their size and mystery. Later, explorers and archaeologists from Europe in the 18th and 19th centuries studied them more closely, sometimes even damaging them in their search for hidden chambers or treasures. By the 20th century, the pyramids had become symbols of Egypt itself, drawing millions of tourists each year. With modern science, researchers have been able to study the pyramids in new ways. Technologies such as ground-penetrating radar, 3D modeling, and thermal imaging have given experts insights into the structure without damaging it. For example, in recent years, scans have revealed temperature differences in some stones, which suggested there could be hidden voids or chambers inside the Great Pyramid. In 2017, a project called Scan Pyramids made headlines when scientists using cosmic ray imaging detected a large empty space inside Khufu's pyramid. This sparked huge debates. Was it a hidden burial chamber, a storage space, or something else entirely? Despite these advances, the full picture still hasn't emerged. Theories continue to swirl, because each discovery raises new questions rather than answering everything. This is where artificial intelligence has started to play a role. Unlike earlier studies, which relied on physical digs or single types of scans, AI can process huge amounts of data from multiple sources: thermal scans, 3D maps, radar readings, and look for patterns humans might miss. The logic is simple. The pyramids are far too complex for one person or even a small team to fully analyze by hand. Every stone, angle, and anomaly has to be studied, and AI can spot details at a scale and speed humans cannot match. By feeding in existing research and newly collected scans, scientists are hoping AI can put the puzzle pieces together. This is especially important because there are still parts of the pyramids that remain inaccessible. The tunnels inside are narrow, and drilling is not an option without risking damage. Non-invasive methods are the only way to uncover hidden secrets, and the results are already causing excitement. Early findings suggest that the AI scans are picking up more hidden structures and unusual patterns deep inside the pyramids. These are areas that traditional methods could not detect. Some researchers believe this could help confirm long-debated theories about construction methods, while others think it may reveal new surprises that nobody expected. For now, experts are being cautious. They know that new claims about the pyramids always attract attention and sometimes controversy. But what is certain is that artificial intelligence is opening a fresh chapter in the study of one of history's greatest architectural feats. So, after thousands of years of mystery, AI finally was able to explain who really built the pyramids and how they pulled it off. But what debates have sparked due to this? The debates. The first debate that emerged was between traditional historians and the new wave of technologists who supported AI-driven research. Historians argued that archaeology is not just about scanning structures, but about understanding the culture, the people, and the historical context. They feared that AI might reduce human history to raw data points and algorithms, stripping away the human aspect of storytelling. The discipline of archaeology has long been defined by a delicate balance between rigorous fieldwork and the humanistic art of historical interpretation. It is a field rooted in painstaking excavation, where the tangible remnants of the past are painstakingly unearthed, catalogued, and used to construct rich narratives about human societies. Technologists, however, celebrated the AI findings. They argued that machines could see what the human eye missed, especially in places where it was physically impossible to go. Traditional data acquisition methods, which relied on manual drawing, field notes, and basic topographic instruments, were time-consuming, prone to inaccuracy, and were only able to provide detailed information for small areas. The difficulty of integrating disparate data sources and conducting large-scale analysis using these methods limited the scope of historical inquiry. For them, the AI scans weren't replacing archaeology. Instead, they were enhancing it. They claimed this was the future of historical research, combining human interpretation with machine precision. AI, in combination with remote sensing technologies such as satellite imagery, LiDAR, and drones, has proven to be a game-changer for the archaeology field. These non-invasive tools allow archaeologists to explore and map vast landscapes without physical disturbance, significantly reducing the need for extensive and potentially damaging excavation. These technologies can uncover subtle clues, such as variations in soil color, vegetation growth, or ground texture. The clash between historians and technologists quickly made its way into academic journals and international conferences, where some scholars welcomed AI as a partner, while others treated it as an intruder into their field. This debate also showed how deeply the pyramids are tied to questions of culture and power. For many Egyptians, the pyramids were more than monuments. They were proof of their ancestors' brilliance and a source of national pride. So when AI technology from abroad is used to study them, some fear that outsiders may take credit for discoveries or twist the story to fit their own ideas. This concern is not new. During the 19th and early 20th centuries, European archaeologists often led excavations in Egypt and carried artifacts back to their own museums, leaving Egyptians feeling excluded from their own history. Today, with AI offering fresh insights, the same tensions resurface. Egyptian scholars want to make sure that any new findings highlight the skill of the ancient builders rather than suggest outside help or downplay local contributions. Foreign researchers, on the other hand, often argue that science should be shared freely across borders. The result is an ongoing push and pull over who gets to tell the story of the pyramids and how that story should be framed. Meanwhile, international researchers insisted that sharing data across borders was essential. They argued that ancient history belonged to humanity as a whole, not just one country. This created a sensitive cultural debate. Should AI findings be interpreted primarily by Egyptians, or should the global academic community take part equally? As expected, conspiracy theorists jumped on the AI findings immediately. For decades, fringe theories claimed that aliens or advanced lost civilizations had built the pyramids. The moment AI discovered hidden chambers and construction patterns previously unknown, these groups said, "We told you so." Scientists pushed back firmly. They argued that just because AI found new details didn't mean aliens had a hand in it. But conspiracy theorists pointed to the precision of the pyramid's construction, suggesting it was beyond the capabilities of humans thousands of years ago. Social media amplified these voices, spreading sensational claims faster than verified facts. This debate extended beyond online space. Television hosts and YouTubers gave platforms to both sides, creating fiery discussions where AI evidence was twisted to support supernatural claims. A different kind of debate also began. It was one about ownership of history. Nationalists in Egypt saw the AI scans as proof that modern Egyptians were the rightful inheritors of this knowledge, and that the world should respect their control over the pyramids. They worried that if AI opened the door to new interpretations, foreigners might again try to rewrite Egyptian history. Globalists, however, argued that history is shared. They said that the pyramids, while physically in Egypt, were part of humanity's collective heritage. This perspective pushed for open access to AI data, so researchers anywhere could analyze it. The tension between protecting national pride and embracing global cooperation became another heated point. The AI discoveries also touched religious nerves. Some religious groups saw the findings as supportive of their sacred texts, while others viewed them as a threat. For example, debates emerged over whether the pyramids could have been linked to biblical events, or whether they contradicted certain traditional beliefs. Some religious scholars welcomed AI as a tool that might confirm long-held spiritual claims. Others dismissed the scans entirely, saying that machines could never grasp divine truths. The debate between faith and technology was reignited, echoing older conflicts where science and religion clashed. Outside of academia and politics, everyday people had their own debates. Social media turned into a battlefield of opinions. Some users were amazed by the discoveries, sharing AI images and visualizations with awe. Others mocked the entire situation, joking about AI finding secret alien garages inside the pyramids. Memes spread quickly, often making light of the debates, but also keeping public interest alive. In many ways, these online conversations became as important as the official ones because they shaped how the younger generation understood the significance of AI's role. Not everyone trusted AI. Some skeptics argued that the scans could be misinterpreted. AI might detect voids, cracks, or unusual shapes, but that didn't necessarily mean they were secret chambers or evidence of unknown builders. They warned that people were too quick to jump to conclusions without proper peer review. Others worried about data manipulation. They asked, who controlled the AI system? Could the results be biased depending on how the algorithm was trained? These questions introduced concerns about transparency and trustworthiness in AI-driven archaeology. The Egyptian government also faced debates internally. On one hand, they wanted to use the AI discoveries as a way to boost tourism and global interest. On the other hand, they feared that sensational claims, like aliens or foreign builders, might undermine Egyptian heritage. Some politicians pushed for stricter regulations on who could conduct AI deepen, while others encouraged more openness, seeing it as a way to attract international funding and collaboration. Behind the scenes, there were also debates about money. AI research was expensive, and not everyone agreed on whether it should be a priority compared to other national needs. Universities and research institutions worldwide quickly published papers in response to the AI findings. Some praised the discoveries as revolutionary, while others criticized them as overhyped. This created another debate. Was AI making real contributions to archaeology, or was it simply generating headlines? Younger researchers, often more comfortable with technology, leaned toward embracing AI. Older scholars, trained in traditional methods, were more cautious. The generational divide added yet another layer of debate to the story. Perhaps the biggest debate of all was philosophical. Some people asked whether AI had brought us closer to solving the mystery of the pyramids, or whether it had simply raised more questions. The new scans revealed things we didn't know before, but they didn't provide a clear, definitive answer about who really built the pyramids. For some, that was disappointing. They had hoped AI would finally solve it. For others, it was exciting because it showed that the pyramids still held secrets, even after thousands of years. In the end, the AI discoveries didn't end the conversation about the pyramids. They only expanded it. Historians clashed with technologists, Egyptians clashed with international researchers, scientists clashed with conspiracy theorists, and skeptics clashed with believers. What AI did was bring fresh energy into a debate that has lasted for centuries. What do you think these new AI discoveries mean for the future of archaeology and our understanding of ancient civilizations? Could this finally settle the debates about who really built the pyramids, or will it spark even more questions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories. We'll see you in the next video.